There are 3 F sharp notes on the bassoon, and for each of those notes you should know at least 2 different fingerings, ideally 3 or more. In this video I'm going to show you those F sharp fingerings for each of those octaves and in what situations you might use them. There are a lot of times where you simply cannot play a passage with an F sharp unless you're using an alternate fingering. It'll just always be messy and frustrating, so it's really important to learn these alternate fingering. If you're new here, my name is Dr. Natalie Law. I'm a professional bassoonist and teacher, and if learning the bassoon is a topic of interest, please like and subscribe. And if you would like to know my go-to fingerings for most of the range of the bassoon, I will drop my free fingering chart down below. You can check that out and see what are my go-to fingerings for all the notes. So I'm going to talk about the lower 2 F sharps first. They're really similar in how they operate. The main difference just being that the upper F sharp, the one that's actually in the staff, uses a half hole and the lower one does not. But other than that, a lot of what I'm going to say applies to both of them. So the fingering for that low F sharp, whisper key, always, and then 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. And then the go-to fingering includes this F sharp key below the pancake key back here. So that is the full F sharp, low F sharp fingering that should be your go-to fingering with the thumb in the back. And like I said, it's the exact same thing with the upper octave, exact same fingering, open the half hole. And I should make a note that the F sharp half hole should be the most open half hole out of all the half hole notes. Otherwise, you'll deal with some response and pitch issues. It sounds better when the hole is mostly open. Now, for the alternate fingering for both the low and the middle F sharps, the alternate fingering is the exact same. And instead of using your thumb, your right thumb, you're going to use your right pinky on this key here. Not this one, but this one, the furthest one away from you. You're going to use that F sharp anytime that you're playing it in combination with a B flat. Anytime that you're going to be using the B flat thumb key in your right thumb, because, and maybe you've already guessed this, when you're going from a B flat to an F sharp, your thumb has to go over the pancake key, and if you've got something quick or fast transition, it's nearly impossible to make this really smooth and even. So to counteract that, you would use your normal B flat fingering, and then you would go to your pinky, your front F sharp fingering. That would be the alternate one to use. So, and that avoids the thumb leaping over the pancake key. So anytime you're using a note that uses the B flat key, which is really just B flat unless you are using the full E flat fingering. So I'll throw a video up above where I talk about the E flat and the staff and the different fingerings that I use. One of the fingerings that you can use involves the B flat key. It's the full fingering. So if you use that as your go-to fingering, then you have to use the front F sharp more frequently. That's one of the reasons, I didn't mention it in that video, but that's one of the reasons I use my left hand E flat, is because I don't like to have to use that front F sharp more than I absolutely have to. Using the front F sharp on the lower and the middle F sharp is going to make that transition going from a B flat much easier and much smoother. Similarly, for both those notes, there is also a muted F sharp fingering, and actually there's a number of variations on this. I'm going to show you one that I frequently use, but just know that there are a lot of different ways to mute your F sharp. You might have noticed that the F sharp is kind of like a laser beam note. It tends to really stick out and be really bright if you're not careful. And if you have to play something really soft, pianissimo, super exposed, being able to mute that F sharp, sort of dampen it, darken it, can be really helpful. Now, you should know that it significantly changes the tone of the note, and so you have to be mindful of the timbre change. The muted F sharp fingering that I typically use is where I'm actually playing both front F sharp and I'm pressing down the thumb key in the back like I would for regular F sharp, so I'm basically combining front and back. And I'm also pressing the pancake key with my right thumb as well, so I'm holding this down as well, and that creates a more muted sound. And like I said, there's other variations of this. Maybe drop down one that you like to use below. And I use that same fingering for both the low and the middle F sharp. but you may find that it doesn't work as well on your horn and you need to experiment with some other variations. For the F sharp in the staff, the middle F sharp, you can also, if you need to trill with that F sharp, if you press this key right here in between your first two tone holes, you can use this as like a trill key. Like if you were going from F to F sharp, would not want to use that for really anything except in a trill situation because it's such an unstable out of tune note, but it works for a trill. For the high F sharp, the highest F sharp in the standard range of the bassoon, up above the staff, I'll teach you the go-to fingering for that, and that's going to be whisper key. And then I take my finger completely off on the top here. A lot of fingering charts say it's a half hole. It often sounds better when the finger's off, but this is again something you can experiment with your bassoon to find out what seems to sound better and plays in tune. And then it's 2, 3, resonance key, and then 1, 2, and then this pinky right here. That's the go-to high F sharp fingering. If you are trying to slur downwards to that F sharp, say from a B flat to F sharp is one example, but there are some other examples as well. Anytime that it's not wanting to speak, you have to use the F sharp with the B flat key. Essentially exactly the same as that go-to, except you're gonna switch from your pinky here and you're gonna press down the B flat key instead. And that's gonna be a different enough F sharp so that it'll speak when you're slurring downwards. Or if you have a certain odd fingering combination, sometimes that fingering will work a little bit better. Another option for that very top F sharp, keep the same, your right hand the same as it is for your go-to 1, 2 pinky, and then just to have middle finger right here. This is a very weak and unstable fingering, but if you have something highly technical and you just need like the easiest possible F sharp, you can do that as well. I hope this video was helpful for you. If it was, please give me a thumbs up, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and drop down in the comments any other F sharp fingerings or variations of fingerings that I talked about that you like to use as well. There are definitely a lot more, but the ones that I covered in this video are the ones that I find myself using all of the time, and I have to constantly be able to use them at any moment's notice.